Hey everyone, it's the Patient Hodler coming at you with another Veve and Ecomi market update. We are going to talk about the latest developments in the Veve app and also about the Ecomi token, what is going on with the Ecomi token at all-time lows, so make sure to stay tuned. Always keep in mind that I'm a crypto and NFT investor, not your financial advisor, so please do your own research before you ape full degen into the Ecomi token and or the Veve collectibles or sell everything or FUD everything. Just make it on your own measures and on your own research. If you like these quick market updates for Ecomi and Veve, then please drop a like on this video right now. Thanks for the like, and the more likes I get, the more of these updates I will be putting out. So let's start right in. We see here Veve has announced that there is actually an update on the payout fee, or better on the limited amount, because right now you can only, or you could only cash out when you had 500 or more gems in your account. Now this has lowered to 100 gems, which allows unsatisfied people with smaller bags to exit the app, and which also will lead in the long term, in my opinion, to a little bit more confidence, because it means that if you are someone with not so deep pockets, then you can enter the app and exit the app more easily. The 10% cash out fee still remains, and all the other mechanics and fees still remain, but I think it's a step in the right direction, because 500 gems was for some people a limit where they couldn't exit the app. Now they can, so actually everyone who wants to leave the app and has more than 100 gems piled up, even some of the small flippers, they can now cash out, and overall I think that's a good thing. We can see that at the moment the app after the Blackpink drop is a little bit slower in terms of the attractiveness of the drops. So we had seen these LOL OMG dolls and also the AIRDROP drop. Now we have a Rabbids drop from Ubisoft and a Cars drop together with some comics in front of us. There's something interesting to note though regarding the drops, and that is that scarcity is increasing. We have in the latest Crypto Morning Coffee stream founded the movement of make collectibles scarce again, and actually it seems that this is happening. So we saw there was a very scarce drop in the AIRDROP. The overall drop was not so scarce, but there was a chase on the secret rare that only 86 editions were in circulation. That drop didn't go to super high expected values. The secret rare is trading below 200 gems, and the I think it's a common or uncommon, the lowest variant is trading at only 2 gems with the initial price at 22 gems, which is more than a 90% drawdown. With regards to the Cars drop here though, it's interesting because the price point is okay in my opinion. So we are seeing here in the article for this drop that it's at 20 gems, which seems to be okay to me, and only 1,400 editions. I still think that this probably is not going to sell out, but might sell a fair share of this drop. And once again, I would say if you really like this and if you're really into it, these edition numbers are not too shabby. These are bear market edition numbers, and I think as users will come into the app, these will be increasingly scarce. This is not a recommendation to buy this. I, for myself, I'm not so interested into Disney Pixar Cars drops, so I will not buy this. But just to consider, for example, with comics, with the 40 edition secret rare comics, I'm very bullish on those, and I think as the market progresses, these will reach very interesting price points. Also looking at that Gary Basement drop here, we see it's called by Living Aloha a disaster. I would say it depends on which angle you're looking at. If you have bought it for 22 gems and now you got the most common variant and it's at minus 88%, yeah, that's a disastrous drawdown. However, if you are Veve and you sold 60% of that drop, it's quite okay from the perspective of those numbers. I like that Living Aloha is constantly putting out content on this, and I think it's good to observe how these drops are performing. In terms of users in the Veve app, we see that we are sitting at 659,960 unique users, of which you can roughly discard 600,000 as they were not online since the 1st of January 2023, so almost 1.5 years ago. More than 1.5 years ago. So we can really say, okay, there's about these 60,000 users in the app that have been active in the past 1.5 years. And if you put your attention on this chart here and only take it from the AIRDROP, then we can see that we have a steady user growth with a couple of negative users after drop. So there are some flippers with 0 collectibles. They take part in a drop and then they sell it off. We can see that also here after the latest drop from 70 down to 60. So losing 10 wallets here, but before we have been at 55. So that's a net 5 still. Very slow growth, but it's still going to the upside. So it's not really a negative trend. Instead, you have a positive trend, and only wallets that have at least one collectible in here are counted as a positive one. So new signups are not included. So if someone created a wallet but didn't buy anything yet, it will not be reflected here in this Immutascan data. Let's also take a look at the biggest whales in the app. So we can see here that most of them have a positive net accumulation. See this above here, a net accumulation of 200. Here in the case of number 5, we have even almost 1,000 in 1 week. And then we have only one in the top 25 that has negative 100. So someone who is selling. We're seeing that the biggest whales are sitting at 50,000 as Bezosman is the biggest whale of the app. And then we have the second place, 20,000, and then we have 3 wallets that are close to 20,000, and we see that now we are almost at 15 wallets that are in the 10,000. So even though this one wallet here is selling off a little bit, whales are stacking collectibles at these cheap prices. We cannot discard the behavior of whales as it usually shows where the market is going in the long term. With regards to Ecomi, let's first of all talk about the claim of the Starknet token. So if you have created a Bravos wallet, like I did here, and claimed the tokens, you will still not see the tokens, even though the deadline for claiming the Starknet token airdrop is already over. The reason for this is that the deadline is over by July 15th at 0 GMT. But the tokens will appear later, and we don't really have a date. But just as you know, when will I receive my Stark tokens? Starknet Foundation will distribute the tokens to the wallet addresses that are submitted in the weeks following the deadline mentioned above. So this can take until the end of June or maybe even into July until we will see the Starknet airdrop. This is listed as an Ecomi feature, but actually it was available to claim over the Veve app. Let's talk about the Ecomi price. So Ecomi price has hit new all-time lows in this week. This candle is not looking very good in my opinion, this weekly candle, and it will close in about 11-12 hours. So I would expect more downside here for the Ecomi token. What has happened? There was a larger purchase that pumped Ecomi in one day quickly up to 00068. But then everything got sold off again, and there was specifically a big wallet from an advisor that sold a bunch of tokens. So we see here, based on the allocation of tokens from the time lock contracts, we believe this to be an advisor wallet, says OmiWatcher. The good news is that they seem to have only 650 million tokens remaining from their original allocation. And the original allocation was 3.75 billion as OmiWatcher responds here. So really they sold off 3 billion tokens and have only 650 million left. We don't know how many other wallets exist that are capable of selling off, but for sure is that they sold off quite a bit. And if you're now saying, oh, that's a bad timing to sell off because the price is so low, wrong, because if you're looking at coin lore and you see where the advisors and the team members and everyone basically got their tokens, and what the price point was around that time, it was quadruple 4.9, quadruple 3 something. So even if they bought tokens at around that time, they are still up roughly 10x from where these price points were made before the bull run. And then there was a lot of a very big pump in the bull run, and then a sharp sell-off, and then some kind of whale games here, and since then we are in these pump and dump like performances of the Ecomi token. So what does that tell us? Even now, the people that have bought here or have received an allocation here are up 10x, and they can still sell in profits. If we're looking at the allocation of Ecomi tokens, we see that if you're in the top 10, you have more than 5.2 billion tokens. So these are wallets that belong to the founders and team members. And a couple of whales are also in these wallets. And then the top 100 is everyone beyond 165 million. So I think Randy Chavez is in there, and a couple of other people in that spectrum. And then top 500 is regular people, regular in parentheses, because 28 million is still quite a bit to accumulate. I'm not in the top 500, but what is necessary to say here is that this can also be whales that have a distributed amount of wallets. So for example, if you have 10 times 28 million, you would be as a top 100 holder, but you have distributed it among 10 wallets. So you are 10 times as one individual in the top 500. So keep that in mind. There might be less than 500 actual holders with this amount of OMI tokens. Last but not least, let's talk about the recent transactions within the Veve app. I think this is very interesting. So there have been some purchases going on. First of all, 2 gold logos have sold and the floor moved up to 7,000. And secondly, a bunch of partner statues with low mints, but also secret rare Spider-Man Ultimate Animated have been selling all yesterday. So all of these transactions, with the exception of this partner statue, happened yesterday. So there was some shopping spree going on in the face of lower prices. So the Ultimate Spider-Man actually hit $2.7 thousand on the app, and the partner statue was as low as 1,100. Now the floor prices have gone up quite a bit on these purchases. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Is it time for a turnaround here? If the selling pressure is going away for Ecomi, because some of these advisors have sold off everything. They have only this wallet that we have observed has only 650 million left in it. So if they sell this off, the price could go a little bit lower, but after that this wallet will be empty. And then the question is, are there more wallets that are going to sell off, or is that where the selling pressure goes away for Ecomi and actually we will see a price reversal? Let me know in the comments below what you think, and also what do you think about the recent buying going on the Veve app of partner statues and Spider-Man. Do you think it's bullish? Do you think it's bearish? Let me know. And wherever you are on the world, have yourselves a great morning, evening, day, night or afternoon, and I see you in the next video.